Welcome to the program, Professor Induratna.
Thank you for inviting me to the program.
Right. To begin with, I would like to ask you, what is your personal view on Sri Lanka's economy?
Yes, the point is some people seem to think that our economy has collapsed. I don't hold that view in the first place. Because our economy, despite all the challenges, global challenges and the constraints, domestic constraints, have been achieving a growth rate during 2010 and 2011 of more than 8%, which is very good. Of course, they could maintain that in the following year, 2012. And the first quarter of 2012, growth rate has come down to 7.9.
Yeah.
And I think as things are, we may not be able to maintain this even 7.9 in the remaining 3 quarters of the year, unless certain remedial measures are taken, because the global recession did not abate as we expected. It's dragging on, and there is debt crisis in the Eurozone, and therefore due to that, demand for exports of countries like ours has sort of decreased. And also the foreign investment is not flowing in as we expected. Then we have been having an overvalued exchange rate. And then since 2012 beginning, our interest rates have been climbing up. Inflation has been on an upward trend. So the very rosy conditions that were prevailing in 2011 have not continued. There have been a reversal of those fundamental economic fundamentals. So therefore, unless certain remedial measures are taken.
Yeah, Professor. What should be the remedial measures?
Now the point is, what is our main problem? Our main problem is there is a big trade deficit. On one hand, there is a big trade deficit, and then on the other hand, there is a big budget deficit. This is what I call the twin deficit. Right? So, unless this trade deficit is reduced along with the budget deficit, things are not going to be easy. And how can we do that? 2 ways. One, we must increase our exports. There must be a drive for exports. You see? And on the other hand, there must be a reduction of our current expenditure, an increase of current revenue, so that our budget deficit decreases. Budget deficit goes down and is contained, it is within manageable limits. So this is the 2 fronts we have to attack: the budget deficit and the trade deficit. When the trade deficit is going down, then obviously our exchange foreign reserves will increase. And we have to have a certain buffer stock like foreign reserves for any eventuality. At least safe margin of 6 months, value of 6 months exports. But we are now having less than 3 months. So these are some of the things we have to do immediately. How do we improve our exports? Now, what are the measures to take?
Then Professor, policymakers have been saying that they want to make Sri Lanka the wonder of Asia, right? Where are we?
Now, the point is this is, it's very easily said than done. Is it to make wonder of Asia? What do you mean wonder of Asia? We have to do better than all the other countries of Asia. Now we have countries like East Asian countries, which are considered a miracle, having such fast growth rate. We have countries like China, which has been growing at double digit. So India has been growing around 8 to 9% for several years, you see. So we have to go fast, all those countries. achieve a very high growth, at least we have to have sustained growth of 10%, to sort of be a miracle, and sustain growth for several years, so that we double, let us say we double our per capita income, real income, not money income, I'm real income, that is measured by purchasing power of the income. You see, double that income in a matter of 6-7 years. You have to do that, because even a country like Korea took about 11 years to double their real income. So we have to do it faster than that.
Then, Professor, you said that Sri Lanka need to improve its export volumes. But here we see that we have failed to attract FDIs for manufacturing sector in a great way. What is that? Why is the reason?
No, yes, lot of people expected foreign direct investment to flow in rapidly, big flow of foreign investment after the cessation of hostilities, that is after the end of the terrorist war. But it didn't happen. On the contrary, it was going down, because 2008 we had about close about 900 million US dollars. Then 2009 it came down to some 600 odd. Then 2011, 2010 it came even much less, 500 odd. Of course, it started slightly increase in the following year, but it had never reached or exceeded what we got in 2008. So what it is, because a lot of people think, of course, we have political stability, strong government, but there are so many other conditions that must prevail for foreign investment to come in. In other words, there must be an enabling environment, conducive environment. There must be good governance. There must be rule of law, law and order, security. All that must be there.
It means the political leaders have a bigger role to play.
Absolutely, absolutely. It must start from there. It must start from there, and then there must be our institutions must function efficiently. You know, various institutions, customs, inland revenue, all these institutions, BOI, all the institutions must function efficiently. So there's a big role the government has to play, and also corruption. There is rampant corruption, and the government also accepts that the corruption must be eliminated. So and the rules and procedure, you know, for an investor to come here and invest, there were so many forms he has to fill, so many rules and procedures he has to conform to, and they get sick of it. You see?
Yeah. Then, Professor, moving away from that, I would like to ask you that annual sessions of your Sri Lanka Economic Association will be held in October. So, how is the progress?
Our main theme is export growth for sustained development. Under this main theme, we have 4 technical sessions. One is the export growth as a strategy. Export growth must be the main strategy of growth and development of this country for the future. I mean, to have a sustained growth. That is, how do we achieve this? So the next session is productivity. Main concern should be the improvement of productivity, because as I told you, our exports must be competitive. So competitive. Then the next thing is the commercialization of agriculture, particularly our domestic agriculture, through value addition. Then also our export in general must be diversified. New crops. Then differentiation of products, value addition, not in raw form. Even tea and rubber, now we have Dilma tea. You know, that's value addition. So like that, tea and rubber, as much as possible we must value added. Of course, now today in the case of tea, there is some people saying in order to add value, they come and blend tea Our superiority with important inferiority, which should happen, because while increasing value, we must not dilute the quality of the product. Maintaining the quality, we must do that. You see? So, then we have to look for new markets. We can't so depend on USA and Eastern Europe because there is recession, and we have to look for other markets. We have to look increasingly towards China and India. After all, 40%, almost 40% of the population in these two countries, they are huge markets. And now we have bilateral agreements with India. We are not making full use of that, because so many lines, so many tariff lines, concession tariff lines, we are hardly making use of them. So that means we have to have diversified crops. And similarly, China. Now, with China, we have a huge trade deficit. From India, we have a huge trade deficit. So, we must have agreement with those countries to bring down our trade deficit. You see, so these are some of the things we must do.
Thank you very much, Professor, for your time.
Thank you very much for arranging this program.
Right, thank you.